It's a scorcher here at the Indian Wells Tennis Garden this Thursday, March 5th, 2026. But the blistering heat isn't coming from the California sun. No, it's radiating from the stadium court where a seismic shock has just torn through the entire BNP Paribas Open, stunning the top-ranked players and veteran analysts into total silence. The news that's absolutely exploding on every sports channel is the round of 64 battle between the Philippines' own Alexandra Ella and Ukrainian titan Dayana Yastremska. This was more than just a tennis match. It was a clash of titans that has completely shattered the tournament's projected draw. Nobody, and I'm telling you, absolutely nobody predicted this. The entire WTA is reeling because Yastremska, famous for her ferocious speed and overpowering baseline game, was the overwhelming favourite to steamroll the young number 31 seed. But what we saw in the desert today was nothing short of a tactical masterwork, a display of steely resolve that has completely rewritten the story of Alex's career. So why is this being called a potential upset of the century? To grasp the sheer magnitude of this moment, you first need to understand who Dayana Yastremska is. On her best day, she's a player who can blast any rival right off the court. She doesn't play it safe. Her style is go for broke, painting the lines with every single shot. Her game plan was straightforward. Overwhelm Alex Eala, the technical whiz from the Natal Academy, with sheer brute force. Pundits were all calling for a swift two-set takedown by the Ukrainian, convinced that Alex's nuanced technique would crumble under the raw power of Yastremska's ground strokes. But here's the inside scoop going into this match. The WTA locker room saw Alex as all sizzle and no steak, known more for her massive $75 million Nike contract than for being a genuine challenge to the tour's heavy hitters. They couldn't have been more wrong. The energy inside Stadium 2 was off the charts, fueled by a full-blown case of Eala-mania. With thousands of Filipino supporters waving flags and chanting her name, the weight on Alex's shoulders was enormous. But instead of breaking under the pressure, she seemed to draw strength from it. The first set was a beautiful storm of calculated mayhem. Yastremska was swinging for the fences, but Alex, with her natal-honed defense, was chasing down every single ball. And she wasn't just getting the ball back. She was masterfully redirecting Yastremska's power with a concealed backhand that left the Ukrainian absolutely enraged. When Alex clinched the first set in a tiebreak, you could feel the wave of astonishment wash over Stadium 2. The TV cameras immediately cut away, zooming in on Aryna Sabalenka's coach in the crowd, whose face was a mask of pure worry. In that moment, they knew this wasn't a fluke set. This was a strategic disaster in the making for every power player left in the tournament. As they moved into the second set, the Pinoy invasion in the stands only got louder, and Yastremska's composure began to completely unravel. The Ukrainian was spotted yelling at her coaching box, baffled as to how a player ranked 30 spots beneath her was systematically disarming her most powerful attacks. But the true bombshell had yet to drop. With the outcome hanging by a thread, the desert furnace of Indian Wells bore witness to a technical leap from Alex Eala that people will be analysing for years to come. Coming up in Part 2, we will break down that tactical clinic. We'll show you the precise moments Alex used her court IQ to dismantle Yastremska's power and reveal the secret signal Martinez gave her just before she pulled off the impossible. This colossal upset is no joke. The entire WTA is in shock, and a new era has officially dawned. The energy in Stadium 2 was absolutely electric this Thursday, March 5th, 2026, as the second set of the Eala Yastremska match became a full-blown mental war. While the fans were going wild, the commentators in the booth were losing their minds because they were watching something you rarely see: the complete breakdown of a power player. Yastremska is a pure bruiser. Her game plan is to end the point in 3 shots max. But Alex Ella, coached by Martinez, was putting on a strategic masterclass that surgically picked apart the Ukrainian's greatest weakness. The secret to this entire match was Alex's incredible use of varying depth. She wasn't simply returning the ball. She was manipulating the height and spin on every single shot, forcing the tall Ukrainian to constantly bend her knees and swing from awkward low positions. Yastremska was visibly enraged. For the first time in the whole tournament, a top 30 powerhouse looked utterly lost against the number 31 seed. But the true tipping point came at 4 all in the second set. The atmosphere was so tense, you could feel it hanging in the California air. During a pivotal changeover, the cameras zoomed in on a tense exchange between Alex and her coach Martinez. As Yastremska hid her face in a towel, Kena flashed Alex a coded signal. A quick tap on her temple followed by a clenched fist. To anyone just watching it, looked like nothing. But the analysts knew it was an order to activate the natal lockdown strategy. From that second forward, Alex gave up on hitting winners. She transformed into a human backboard, baiting Yastremska into taking bigger and bigger risks. It was a vicious psychological game. Alex knew the more Yastremska missed, the faster her confidence would crumble. This wasn't tennis anymore. It was chess played at 100 miles per hour. The WTA's golden girl was earning her reputation right there on the court. Every single time Alex won a grueling rally, the Filipino fans in the stands erupted with a sound so immense the chair umpire had to repeatedly ask for quiet. The untold story of this massive upset was how much the crowd fueled Yastremska's meltdown. In 2026, the challenge of facing Alex isn't just her unorthodox game. It's about dealing with the emotional tidal wave of an entire country. Yastremska began making unforced errors on the easiest shots, her eyes glancing at the stands in total disbelief. She wasn't just fighting Alex anymore, she was fighting the phenomenon of Eala-mania. Over in the player lounge, the entire WTA was glued to the monitors and the room was eerily silent. They were all realizing the hype was legit, and Alex Ella had just figured out how to dismantle the most powerful hitters on the tour. When Alex stepped up to serve for the match, the shocking reality of the moment began to sink in. The girl with the $75 million Nike deal was a single game from sending a former top 25 Titan home. But as we all know, crossing the finish line is always the hardest step. Yastremska, with nothing left to lose, began swinging with almost desperate aggression, saving 2 different match points with stunning winners that painted the lines and made the whole stadium gasp. In Part 3, we're going to break down that incredible final stand, the heart-pounding tiebreak that decided everything, and the jaw-dropping move Yastremska made at the net that has the internet on fire. The upset was so close you could taste it, but the drama was really just getting started. The pressure inside Stadium 2 reached a boiling point on that Thursday, March 5th, 2026. We are now sorting through the wreckage of what experts are already calling the most psychologically brutal tiebreak of the year. As Alex Eala and Dayana Yastremska were tied at 6-all in the second set, a hush fell over the entire Indian Wells tennis garden. The whole WTA was freaking out because this was about so much more than a final score. This was about pure survival. Yastremska, the powerhouse from Ukraine, was playing with a reckless aggression that left the commentators totally stunned. Every single shot was a missile aimed for the lines. But the real story of the tiebreak was Alex's nerves of steel. While Yastremska was losing it, screaming at her coaches and throwing her racket around, the number 31 seed was a perfect picture of calm and focus. She was playing like a stone-cold killer out in the desert, and that composure was about to pay off in the most stunning way imaginable. The tiebreak was an absolute emotional rollercoaster. Alex shot out to a 4-1 lead, powered by the incredible roar of the Filipino fans in the stands. But with the heart of a true fighter, Yastremska battled her way back to 5-all. That was the exact moment when the massive controversy blew up. On an absolutely critical point, a very close call was given to Alex Eala. Yastremska was completely enraged, demanding a challenge and yelling at the umpire. The reaction from the crowd was just unbelievable. A chaotic mix of boos and cheers made the stadium walls shake. In the middle of all that chaos, Alex did something that showed she learned from the best Rafael Nadal. She didn't get into an argument. She didn't feed off the drama. She just calmly walked to the baseline and blasted a serve that couldn't be returned, setting up match point. The shock wasn't just about the tennis anymore. It was about watching a top 30 star have a complete mental breakdown against a 20-year-old. When Yastremska's last shot sailed out, the monumental upset was a done deal. Alexandra Eala had achieved the unthinkable, breaking down the Ukrainian powerhouse in straight sets. But the truly jaw-dropping moment, the one that has the entire WTA buzzing right now, took place at the net. Instead of just a normal handshake, you could literally feel the hostility between the two of them. Word is getting out that Yastremska made some kind of shocking gesture or whispered something that left Alex visibly floored for a second. Even though the cameras didn't catch the exact words, their body language said everything. The bad blood we thought was there earlier had officially boiled over. Alex, however, kept it classy just like Nadal would, shaking the umpire's hand and turning to her fans to celebrate a win that just made history for Philippine tennis. This victory has had a massive impact. By taking down Yastremska, Alex did more than just advance to the round of 32. She has officially put the entire tournament on notice. The $75 million athlete is now a real threat to win the whole thing. The press room is going crazy today, with reporters all asking, is there anyone out there who can slow down Eala's momentum? In our next part, we're going to get into the fallout in the locker room. We'll show you how Aryna Sabalenka and Coco Gauff really reacted as they watched their own potential routes to the final get torn apart by the Filipina queen. We will also break down the secret message Alex's father gave to the press only minutes ago. The upset is over, but the era of Eala is only just getting loud. The shockwaves from Alex Eala's win over Dayana Yastremska are ripping through the Players' Lounge at Indian Wells. On this Thursday, March 5th, 2026, the feeling in the air has gone from curiosity to straight-up panic. The untold story is that a bunch of top 10 seeds were crowded around the TVs as Alex finished that last tiebreak, and the silence that followed was absolutely deafening. All the experts are losing their minds because the tournament draw has just been completely blown wide open. Aryna Sabalenka, the world's #1, and Coco Gauff, the reigning champion, are reportedly in shock. They didn't just witness an upset, they saw a complete technical evolution. They watched a player with the defensive skills of a seasoned pro and the ice-cold nerve of a true champion. And the fallout in the locker room is definitely real. The entire conversation has flipped from how do we handle Yastremska to how on earth do we stop Alex Eala? Rumors are flying about a secret strategy session between some of the tour's biggest coaches that happened right after the match. They are absolutely furious because all the game plan data they had on Alex from 2025 is now completely worthless. This upgraded Alex Eala sharpened by Martinez is a total tactical nightmare. Analysts are all highlighting that Alex's return of serve today was just vicious. She wasn't just getting the ball back in play. She was attacking Yastremska's greatest weapon from the very first swing. One coach was supposedly heard saying the Pinoy queen isn't playing like a 31st seed. She's playing like she belongs in the top 5. This sense of fear from her peers is the biggest compliment Alex could possibly get. But that also means she has a massive target painted on her back now. However, the most stunning reaction came directly from the Yastremska camp. Following the net controversy we went over in Part 3, the Ukrainians team was supposedly seen in a tense argument with tournament officials. They are attempting to blame the loss on the crowd's energy and the non-stop noise, but the WTA is not buying it. The unspoken truth is that the WTA is fully aware Alex Eala is their new cash cow. They have no intention of penalizing the one player who is drawing in millions of viewers and selling out stadiums. This political friction is splitting the locker room right in two. On one side, you have the old guard, who feels the crowd is getting to be too much. And on the other, you have the undeniable reality that Alex Eala is the most popular athlete in the desert. As we now look ahead to the round of 32, the pressure on Alex has skyrocketed. She is no longer just carrying the hopes of the Philippines. She is now the giant killer every top seed is desperate to avoid. Her father, Mike Eala, apparently told a small circle of reporters today that Alex is just getting warmed up and that her preparation at the Nadal Academy has made her mentally unbreakable. In Part 5, we are going to drop our explosive prediction for her upcoming match against a potential top 10 rival and reveal the secret message Alex's mentor, Rafael Nadal, is said to have sent her just minutes after the match concluded. The upset was just the spark, but the firestorm at Indian Wells is on the verge of consuming the entire WTA field. This bombshell upset in the California desert has officially kicked off a brand new era. On this Thursday, March 5th, 2026, the dust may have settled on Stadium 2, but the Eala earthquake is still sending shockwaves across the globe. As Alex Eala left the court today, after taking apart Dayana Yastremska, her phone apparently lit up with a text that has since become the talk of the entire tournament. Insiders at the Nadal Academy have leaked that Rafael Nadal himself sent a private message of congratulations just moments after her victory. Rafa reportedly told her, "This is the level where you belong. Don't look back." This blessing from a legend has given Alex the ultimate psychological shield. She's not just another product of the Academy anymore. She is the heir to the Nadal fighting spirit, and the whole WTA is watching in fear of what's coming next. So what is the massive impact of this win on the official rankings? Experts are already crunching the numbers. And this victory puts Alex on the verge of breaking into the world's top 25 for the very first time in history. But this is about way more than ranking points. It's about earning pure respect. And here's the secret no one is saying out loud. Every seeded player in the round of 32 is praying they don't have to play the Pinot Queen. Her match today blew up, pulling in over 2 million live streamers and making her the biggest draw of the tournament period. The WTA thinks it just found its new cash cow, but for Alex, the only thing that matters is that trophy. Looking ahead to her next match, the forecast is absolutely explosive. It doesn't matter if she's up against a seasoned veteran or some hotshot rookie. Alex is done being the underdog. She is running her section of the draw, and her hybrid strike has become the single most feared weapon in Indian Wells. But while Manila is throwing a party, the bullseye on Alex's back just got 10 times bigger. We're talking the top 10 players' names like Iga and Arena. Sabinka are reportedly in the film room breaking down her match against Yastremska with obsessive focus. They're hunting for a single crack in her armor. But what we all witnessed today is that Alex's mental fortitude is completely unbreakable. Her coach Kenna Martinez told the press that Alex's killer instinct is at an all-time high. The Eala-mania has hit a fever pitch, and this desert storm is now a Category 5 hurricane. That upset was not a fluke. It was a complete tactical demolition. Thank you for tuning in to this 5-part special on the biggest shocker of the 2026 BNP Paribas Open. Alex Ella has just proven she is the Michael Jordan of tennis for this new generation. Can she keep this unbelievable run going all the way to the championship, or will the rest of the tour find a way to shut her down? One thing is absolutely certain. The entire world is watching, and that Pinoy pride is leading the charge. Remember to like, subscribe, and drop History Maker down in the comments to back Alex. The word is out. Alex Ella is here to stay, and she's making a run for the crown.